What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Simply Human Show. Today, I got my first guest in the hot seat. My boy Asher. You want to introduce yourself?
How's it going? We are breaking ground tonight because I've never guested on a show, but I am happy it is this one. So excited to get into the content.
Don't you have a channel of your own?
I do, yes. A fresh new channel in the sphere of too many channels, but
For real.
Motel 11 Pictures, yeah. We're experimenting and trying a number of different things, but yeah, little plug there.
No, of course. Yeah. Yo, I eat, you eat, and vice versa. I'll make sure, since this is my first time, you should have already seen the little handle pop up under his name, hopefully. If not, you'll see it right now. Like, boom. But yeah. Cheers, man. Welcome to the show.
Broke the ritual there.
I know, I did the first one. You did this one.
Yeah. Love the mugs, though.
Thank you. So, today we're going to talk about some wrestling.
Yes.
I'm a super fan. I know just a little bit more than you, so, but, you know.
No, I'm a novice, so this will be interesting for me. I know we've had a number of late night conversations. Talking about your passion around wrestling, so it's why not put it on screen and
Trying to get another friend to watch some wrestling with me.
Yeah,
you know.
He's selling me on it, so. Yeah, do you want to kick it off with anything more, or should we start?
I think I want you to break the ice. Yeah, since you got some questions, I heard.
I do. I've actually noted down my questions. Very prepared today. Let's just start off generally, though. Why do you like wrestling so much?
For me, it's multiple reasons. Growing up when I was a kid and I saw it, it was kind of like these superheroes in the ring, because wrestlers are typically like big dudes. They're over 6'2", they're over 200 pounds, typically chiseled. Some aren't, they're just big, but they're strong guys. So I was fascinated with that. What really got me into it, though, was like the connection I had when it came to my grandmother. She was a big wrestling fan. So for me, it was just like, oh, I enjoyed watching it. And then when I found out like she really enjoyed watching it, we started like watching it together, and then I just really loved it because it was like a nice little competition and rivalry, because I was an Ultimate Warrior fan, she was a Hulk Hogan fan, so watching it, I was like, oh man, and I was like, man, there's no way Hulk's gonna beat him, and it helped us to bond, and it was just like fun watching these like live action figures just battle each other.
And what age was this that you got into it?
I think I started watching wrestling when I was maybe 7 or 8.
7 or 8. Okay. Yeah.
I started watching wrestling around like 1989. So I was 6. Yeah. I just told you my age.
I was just gonna say I'm not gonna reference a decade.
I was like, well, now y'all know.
Okay, so it's been with you your entire life.
Yeah.
This is a part of you.
Yeah. On and off, but.
And I guess branching on that, wrestling, is that WWE? Is that essentially where that passion began, or are there other leagues or entertainment programs that you followed at that age?
So when I started watching, it was WWF, World Wrestling
WWF.
Federation.
Did I say it wrong?
No, you said it right for what now. It's World Wrestling Entertainment, because back then they had beef with the panda people, the World Wildlife, I think it was World Wildlife Federation or something like that, and they didn't want people confusing them with these Neanderthals in the ring. Yeah. So I don't know the whole legalities. If you're interested, you can look that up. But WWF, they gave in and were like, all right, fine. We love the pandas. We're not gonna have no beef with you guys. We're gonna change it to WWE, World Wrestling Entertainment, because what they have is an entertainment program. They provide entertainment, so it kind of worked. Old school heads, we love the WWF logo a lot better, because you can see like the W within the W and then the F. Now it's just 2 W's. Even though we know there's an E, you don't see it. It just wouldn't make any sense. It just wouldn't look right. So it's like the E is silent.
It had a specific channel, right? Or was it on its own network? Or
I don't know what channel it was on when I first started watching, but USA has typically been its home. USA. It's been on USA. It was on, I think, Sci-Fi for a bit. SmackDown is now on Fox, which is one of their brands. Yeah, I mean brands because they split. Like they went from just like this big wrestling company with these house shows and pay-per-views, and to now they have different brands. They have a show on Monday, Raw. They have a show on Friday with SmackDown, and they have their the developmental league, which is NXT, and that's on Tuesdays. And you mentioned like, oh, was there other, I guess, territories? I only paid attention to WWF back in the day. Now I do follow multiple territories, or at least like I'll tune in, I'll check it out because they're entertaining, and you never know which of those guys is going to catch the attention of whoever is in WWE and make it over to like the big brand. And so to me, sometimes it's fun to kind of like watch their journeys. I'm like, oh man, I used to watch this dude on the independent scene, and now they're in the big leagues.
Right. Yeah. No, and as an avid fan, I can see sort of like the farming system in baseball where you'd want to see where these names come from and sort of their background and what leagues and so forth they come back from. I used to be way into the UFC. I did Muay Thai for many years, so I always liked watching I forgot the name. I just think it was The Ultimate Fighter, right?
Yeah, so I love that show.
Yeah, they give the background on sort of how they came up, and then they contested obviously on that reality show and in the cage, obviously. But that the UFC isn't extremely dangerous, so that kind of brings me to the question of safety in the wrestling domain, and sort of
UFC and WWE are now together.
They're together now.
They're under the same umbrella. They just merged, I believe, last year or maybe earlier this year.
Oh, wild!
Yeah,
okay. So
that's okay. I know.
Yeah.
But you were saying safety.
No, that's actually interesting. I had not heard that. So
yeah,
I'm kind of curious about that. What was like Dana White is the president of the UFC, and so it was just some sort of merger essentially, and
it's right now we're in the Triple H era. Hunter Hearst Helmsley, he was a wrestler, started dating the boss's daughter, and married the boss's daughter, and now he's the boss in a way because Vince McMahon, the head honcho of WWE. Yeah, if you want to look him up, it's not pretty. There's a lot of scandal and things that he's been accused of. I can't say for sure if any of these are true. I'm leaning towards like he did some of them things. He's a dirty boy. So now, when he was in charge, he was just like, no, we're not going to have these independent territories coming out to my program. We're not going to be selling out to anything. We're just like, we are who we are. We're by ourselves. He's gone. Triple H is like, all right, the smart move. Let's sell. I don't know the full details of it, but UFC and WWE are now under the TKO holding group, and now that's their boss. I think it's a good thing for them because now their market is so much more diverse and larger, and it only gets more eyes on the product.
And I would say that the sort of trend, from my knowledge in terms of the UFC and the direction it's gone, has been a lot towards showmanship as well.
Yeah.
So I can kind of see how that blood is related between sort of wrestling. Just from an outsider perspective, I don't know enough about the WWE and so forth. But sorry, I tangented there a little bit. I was curious about safety protocols and the dangers associated with entertaining wrestling. What would you say there?
So when it comes to safety, WWE, they're pretty good with that, like taking care and just like their protocol. They always have at least like one ambulance ready at every show in case like something really bad happens. They have their own medical staff. They have physical therapists. They have their own doctors. The wrestlers themselves, though, they're actually in charge of getting their own health coverage, life insurance, and things of that nature. But if something was to happen on site or in the show, in the ring, or whatever, they do have a medical staff. Like if something goes like really, really bad in ring, the refs do something like this, which means, hey, it's not a part of the show, it's not a part of the script, something serious, like come check it out. And if it's that bad, they might call the match off. people like John Cena, you know him or you heard.
Yeah.
There was a match he had with Seth Rollins where I forgot what move it was, but he broke his nose in the match and it was like crooked sideways, dripping blood. But John was like, nah, I'm gonna keep it going. So he wrestled the whole match, broken nose, blood dripping out. Most parts they switched it to black and white because USA is like a family oriented network, so they're not really for the blood. And yeah, to me it was just wild. I'm like, this dude has a broken nose and he's just kind of like, yo, and he's taking more hits to the face. I'm like, I know like obviously Seth is like pulling his punches and whatnot, but I'm like, it doesn't matter. Like you can, if I had a broken nose and you flicked me, it's gonna hurt. But the adrenaline, him wanting to just make sure like the match went on. He wanted the fans to be happy. He wanted like the kids to be happy, and yeah, I respect him for that.
And that is how a star is born.
Yeah. He is the guy, or he was the guy. He's actually on his goodbye tour now. This is his.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
So he's still actively wrestling, and
he wasn't because he was more like Hollywood, but now he did such a smart move. He's like, hey, this is my final year. If you want to see me, it's kind of like it's gonna be my last WrestleMania. It's gonna be my last SummerSlam. It's gonna be my last XYZ. So that is great market because now people are gonna be like, wait, this is what? So as soon as these tickets go on sale, they're probably gonna sell out because if you want to see John for the last time, he's already put it out there. While some guys are like, oh, this is gonna be my retirement match. He was like, no, this is my retirement year, and I enjoyed watching him for the most part. Sometimes I was kind of like, oh, I'm so tired of this wrestler because he's known as the 5 moves of doom. He just has his 5 moves. Yeah, and that's it. It's kind of like, bruh, he can wrestle. Like, he has more, but they limited him to just these 5 moves. But
I'd say he's a little limited in the acting world as well. But
his WWE persona and his like acting persona is so different.
And he's solid in the roles he does, but it's very limited.
No, it's limited.
Dynamic, yeah.
I'm more talking about. He's like he has granted more Make-A-Wish wishes for like kids,
He's a good guy.
who are unfortunately dying for them. But then you see his shows. He's talking about sex and drugs and he's just vulgar. I'm like, wow. So this is Cena outside WWE. I was like, you a dirty boy. This is like, all right.
Sounds like Bob Saget a little bit.
Oh yeah, I heard about that one.
Yeah, so I mean, the wrestlers get smashed over the heads with tables and chairs and so forth. Is that part of the training that they go through? I mean, like, it's similar to how they're pulling punches. Are they pulling the tables they throw at?
The tables always have like a slight cut. That's why it's kind of annoying at times to watching it because it's always going to be a perfect break. It wasn't always like that, but there was this one match with a wrestler named Bob Holly. He's a hardcore dude. Like, he is a stiff worker. Stiff worker means like he's gonna hit you rougher than he should. You're gonna feel it. You're gonna get damaged. There was an incident when he had a table match. He went through the table and the table wasn't like pre-cut, so it had like it was a normal break, and part of the break slashed his back and like it slashed him, blood everywhere, and he had to get stitches. So now, for safety reasons and just to make it more convenient and easier, they kind of slit the table underneath, so you don't see the line up top. It's underneath it is like indented, so the slightest hit will make it break. I've seen some matches, not WWE, but like independent shows where they'll put someone on the table and the table just collapsed because they made the break line a little too thin. But chair shots now, they are not allowed to directly hit you on the head. Back in the day, like in the 90s, you would... Oh man, it was brutal. Like, it was like CTE type chair shots, smashing the guys over the head. Ken Shamrock used to be in the UFC.
Oh yeah,
he took some nasty chair shots, and just for the longevity, I realized like this probably isn't good. The concussion protocol, and yes, it's not good. So they do pull that, and they hit you on the back, and sometimes like when they're gonna hit you like in the gut or anything else, you'll see them put their hand on the top of the chair, so when they hit you, the chair, my bad Cookie, they're not hitting you directly with the chair. The soft fleshy part of their hand is bracing you into, and you're getting hit with that, so it limits the impact.
Interesting. Okay, so it's a mix of sort of physicality and performance all together. Fascinating. No, a term I wanted to refer to my notes here because I've heard the term faces and heels tossed around in my
Yeah.
brief foray into the wrestling world and sort of preparing to talk about this on the show. WTF does that mean?
So basically, faces and heels are heroes and villains, good guys and bad guys. If you're a face, you're a good guy. If you're a heel, you're the bad guy. You want that hate. You want that heat. Heat is like when you get out there and people are booing at you. They're mad at you. Like you just want the audience like to feel something. Even when you're a face, you want those cheers.
Yeah.
And that'll sometimes dictate. I feel like how they push a certain wrestler. Push just means like, all right, if say me and you are like we join the WWE and you're not getting a good response, they're probably not going to push you. You're going to become a jobber. Well, they actually they don't like that word, but you're going to be like enhancement talent. They like me, they're going to push me. You're probably going to get. I'm probably going to pin you most of the time. You're just there to kind of make me look good, make sure you know how to sell the moves, but
Right.
they're making me the star, and you're just kind of there. And if you have a long career, say 20 years, hey, it might work out later on. You're just being that guy to help the others until they see something in you,
Right.
whether you improve your promo skills, your in-ring ability, merchandise sales, all these different variables. They're like, oh, all right, there's something about him. Something's changed. Let's give him another chance. Let's see if we can give him a push. But yeah, it's always the faces and the heels, and then typically the heels will cheat to win a match. The referee will be distracted, and so they won't see someone else come in and distract the face who's in the ring, or whoever's getting. They might do a sucker punch or a low blow, things like that. But yeah, it's always like they need a good guy and the bad guy. Sometimes faces face each other, heels face each other, but typically it's you got your face and you got your heel.
Interesting. That was a good breakdown, and that clears that up for me and hopefully you.